I'm Aeptha, and known as Jill Aeptha Jeanette, but I use my spiritual name Aeptha. In my 20s, I found myself sort of craving something more in my life, and so I got exposed to a new thought church. But what I found is that I was being drawn deeper and deeper into my studies. I found an author, Dolores Ashcroft Norwicki, who is with the Servants of Light. I looked up, found out where one of her workshops was, went to that workshop, and it was on the Egyptian mysteries. I was like, wow, she was with the ceremony and the ritual and the esoteric history. So that took me deeper into the mysteries, and it was subsequently, a year or two later, I had been encouraged to open my own school, which is Light Haven. Light Haven is a mystery school, an evolving mystery school, because it is very much a living entity that has its own life and its own growth. It is a contacted mystery school. We started officially in 1993. We made this agreement, we put this energy, and I was quite frankly amazed because we had this huge response. So at the end of 3 years, we actually had the means to buy land. We felt called to move more into a rural area, and we actually built not only our own home, but also Light Haven. But Light Haven continued to thrive and grow. We primarily are ceremonialists, but we also offered classes and more introduction classes and classes on the general mysteries. And what I realized was that it would be wonderful to teach the history, which is fabulous because it gives you that understanding of the depth of solar theology, but also the understanding of our ancestors, which is much more extensive than history tells you. These were people, our ancestors, the mighty dead knew many, many things. There are many things they taught, and that's part of what I wanted to teach in the solar mystery was this history. But I was also drawn to a practical aspect, and that was working primarily with the understanding of the 4 stations of the sun: the morning sun, the midday sun, the sun at twilight, and the midnight sun, because I wanted to have something practical that you could actually use in your day-to-day life as well as in your ritual. As far as within Light Haven itself, this is more for people. The work we're doing now is primarily for people that are more advanced practitioners. I could go through a list of 50, but if I was to hone it down to one book, I think that it would be Ivo Dominguez Jr. Casting Sacred Space. That is a fundamental practice, knowing how to cast your space, both for protection, but also to create this circle with intent. And it's something that, particularly for those of us that are more advanced practitioners, been doing this work for a long time, we take it for granted. And it's wonderful how Ivo brilliantly lays it out in a way that not only is excellent for beginning practitioners, but for those of us who have been doing this work, it gives us a different level of reflection and a different level of focus. So that would definitely be the go-to book for a beginning person. In relationship to the question about for an advanced practitioner, I think that I would say my classic go-to, frankly, is Dion Fortune. I love her work, and specifically the mystical Kabbalah. I've worked with a lot of, read and studied and gone to classes on people that are very gifted, taught me so much about the Kabbalah, but the mystical Kabbalah is kind of like one of those backbone books. It just is, for the era it was written, it was clear that she was receiving communication. So Dion Fortune, the mystical Kabbalah, I have really trust listening to my guidance, listening to what I am being advised to do. At this point, part of what I'm being encouraged to do, which I have frankly resisted, but I'm doing more of, and I'm finding that it's really a viable way to work, is through my public Zoom classes. I continue to go to conferences such as this. I will be at Sacred Space next March. I'm going to be back at Mystic South hopefully next year. Looking forward to that. And Yeah, I'm getting a lot of inquiries about people that are interested in moving deeper into understanding the lodge work. So we're kind of opening that up more. We usually start with people, we're letting people come and experience the lodge and seeing if it's the right fit for a year or two before we move into deeper commitments and certainly into the path of initiation, because we do, we are a initiated lodge.